Hello everyone, my name is Kaseem. Welcome to this week's Dividend and Growth Investing Portfolio. This week's portfolio update is going to be quite impactful and it's going to have a lot of information, and I hope you take the time to actually watch, and if you're listening to this on a podcast, go to the YouTube and actually watch the video on YouTube. Now, we are going to talk about a lot of things today. I think a lot of these things are very insightful as to how investing really works, and it's a lot to cover. We're going to talk about this view feature here. We are going to talk about the big dip that we saw in the S&P 500 last week. We're going to talk about all that stuff. We saw a huge dip in the S&P 500, and I had a perfect example where I was able to buy the dip, and luckily for us, the S&P basically recovered nicely, and we're looking up again on the S&P. Some of the news that we had during this recording time period. Okay, some of the news that we had a big news from China. Okay, this company Evergrande is basically China's the biggest real estate development company in China, and basically they basically said that they might not be able to pay their debt. So the bonds that they hold, shareholders, they might not be able to pay it. So that basically rattled the market. And we saw a big decline in the market because of that particular company. So basically, I did a lot of things with this update. This update is going to be jam-packed with a lot of information, like I said. I basically was buying the dip all over this time. I was buying and then adding to my portfolio, and luckily the portfolio has recovered. But this story was a pretty big story, okay? It's all over the news. You guys can check it out on YouTube. It's a pretty big story. Basically, this company said it could not basically pay its debt. It's like you as an individual saying to people that you owe money to that, I cannot pay you back. But on an individual level, you're quite small. Like this company, they owed a total of over $300 billion in debt. Like they owed a lot of money. So basically, when the company started saying that they might not be able to pay their debt back, it really rattled the market. The market sold off quite hard. And the reason why that happened is basically the market was afraid that this can cause a ripple effect on the global economy, just like what happened in 2008 with Lehman Brothers. So basically the market was scared, and it sold off pretty badly. So what I did was I just basically was just buying in my M1 portfolio. So today in the market was particularly a down day. As you guys can see, markets are just down all over the place. So usually what I would like to do on days like this where everything is just going down, all I like to do here is I like to just go into the portfolio and just grab as much as the portfolio is down by, and I spread the money across my portfolio to reduce risk. What I like to do, like I said, I like to just basically buy the same amount of money that the stock that my whole portfolio is down by. Earlier on, when I transferred the money in here, it was roughly down by 1,700. So I'm going to put the same amount of money in the portfolio. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just spreading it across the portfolio, basically putting it in according to what the portfolio section is down by. So like here now, this is the cryptocurrency section. Here we can see that it's down by $117. Well, now that I'm recording it, it's down by that, so it's gone up a tiny little bit, but I put in roughly about $118 in here, and that money will get spread out across the portfolio here and grab all these companies that I want to have under my cryptocurrency section of the portfolio. So this is what I like to do when the market is down. So when we get days like this, then I usually just love to just go into the market and just grab some stocks for the day. So with that being said, the market recovered pretty nicely. Yeah, the market went back up, basically brushed the story off and went back up. And I'm so happy that I invested that money. I think I invested $1,700. I was really happy that I did that, because now it's going to give my portfolio just that tiny little boost, a tiny little nudge, because I bought the dip. Okay, what I did was, I would encourage all of you guys, before I get into what I did, I would encourage all of you guys to go and follow my social media. If you want to follow what I do more closely, go to my social media. I'm on IG, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter. So go follow my social media if you want to get up-to-date information on what I do, basically. So getting back into this, what I did was I basically bought a dip. If you look at the month here, I've basically purchased $4,500 worth of stock. In the past week alone, I purchased half of that, because in the past week is when people were scared about Evergrande for 2 days. For 2 days, the market just went straight down. People were scared. They were scared. So if you guys want to know more, I will leave what you have to Google in the description, so you can Google it. Evergrande News, you can read more about it. I don't really want to put these people's information here, but you can go and read below and read up on why the market went down. So the other thing that I also want to touch on here is I want to touch on Apple. Okay, Apple had a pretty significant updates out. They came out with a lot of things. They came out with the new iPhones. You know when they come out with the iPhones, they come out with all these different versions. They have the iPhone 13 Pro here. They have the iPhone 13 Watch Series 7. They have the new Watch Series 7, and they have the new iPad. They have a bunch of new things, and I remember a couple of months ago they also released this. They're working on their fitness app. So I think Apple, to be honest, is a buy at this point. And if you take a look here, sorry for you guys that are not chart people, let me try to make this into a 4-hour chart so it's easier. So if you take a look here, we can see that Apple has been going down pretty badly. They had the lawsuit situation. They had a lawsuit where Spotify and all these companies were suing Apple, and the judge ruled against Apple. So their stock dropped pretty hardly here. So now that the stock is basically reversing, I'm keeping an eye on it, and I'm going to be buying more Apple. I bought a little bit of Apple stock. At the moment, I have about 19 shares. They are basically worth about $2,800. I'm going to be buying some more. I'll be buying some more. I think this is going to provide a big upside, just because they have brand new products. People love Apple stuff. There are people that are basically an Apple junkie. They upgrade their phone every single time. This phone is going to make them billions of dollars, not to talk about services that they're going to make with it. These phones, they're making them in bigger memory, so people will probably increase their iCloud payment. They're going to make so much money from the services, the products. So at this point here, most likely I'll be buying some more, because you never know. Maybe by the end of the year into early next year, this can easily be like a $250 stock. And at the moment is $146. So I'll be buying more Apple aggressively, and if you guys want, you can go and check out all of the reviews on YouTube. I've checked out some of them and they are pretty good. So I will encourage you to go and look at what tech YouTubers are saying about the product, so you can see for yourself. So the other change that happened with the portfolio this week is within the energy and transportation section, I decided to basically sell out of NEO. So I sold out of NEO and took this $160, put that money into the rest of the ETFs that are here that cover basically all the big energy and transportation, future energy and transportation. So lithium batteries, autonomous vehicles, smart mobility ETF here. So I just basically put NEO in here. I'm keeping an eye on Space. I really like Space as a company. I believe that long term their stock will be, much appreciated just because of all the technology that it creates. And they're basically the only one in the only company that are doing exactly what they're doing. So there's going to be some value in that. So I'm going to keep this just like this. But the rest, NEO, I'm getting rid of it. I'm going to put it in the ETFs, which most of this ETF cover NEO, Space, Tesla anyways, and all the other ones that I don't have here. So I'm just going to leave just NEO, Space, just Tesla, Space, and these 3 ETFs. And that is pretty much what I'm doing for this particular section of the video. As you guys can see, I have these cells here. I have the NEO cell, and then I'm taking that money and putting that into the ETF section here. So that is what I'm doing with this section. Just trying to trim the fat and make the portfolio a little bit more lean moving forward. I'm trying to build my portfolio in such a way that over time it would make money, and this is just part of the process. Last but not least, what we're gonna do is we are gonna run through the breakdown here. Every time I do these videos, I usually like to show you guys this breakdown so we can see how much money we're making on a regular basis. Okay, so today that I'm recording this video, September 22nd, I was able to generate $6.52. If you look at the week, the portfolio generated $24.69. If you look at the month here, and this is a rolling 30-day period, from August 23rd to September 23rd, the portfolio generated $57.34. And in the past 3 months, the past quarter, the portfolio generated $131. And let's take a look at the past year. In the past year, we've generated $581. And in past all time that I've had this portfolio, so far we've had $747. I always like to highlight that. I love how they break it down in such a way that, you can literally see that your portfolio here is making a huge impact in your investment. Just in 1 month, I could easily have this money sitting in my bank, and it wouldn't earn anything. Or I could have it in real estate, but I have to deal with a bunch of things that I'm not willing to deal with at the moment. So I prefer this because this helped me do a lot of things, like being able to borrow out of this to use that money to do other things. The leverage that this creates for you. For example, let's say if I was to have $1 million in here, I will be able to borrow 30% of that and use that to do whatever I want to do, whether that is starting a business, doing anything. So for me, this is a huge priority, because over time you get access to large amount of money at very low interest rate, and you can use that to do so many things. So I'm going to keep on dollar cost averaging into this, keep putting money in it, doing this update, sharing with you guys, showing you what's happening with the portfolio. And I hope you find this video insightful, and I hope you find it helpful to your financial journey. As always, remember guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I just share with you what I'm doing with my finances so you guys can see what it's like for someone just like you, that is building their stock portfolio, So that is that. So before we go, stay tuned for the next couple of videos that is coming up. We have this new feature here that I'm going to do a detailed walkthrough. This will be my next video, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have this new feature here on M1 called View. This is quite amazing, okay? This is quite amazing. I'm going to do a detailed video on it. It breaks down which side of the portfolio is making more money. Even if you go deeper within that, it also breaks it down and show you all the way to the point where you can see which stock pay you more in each category. So I think this is a neat and nice feature that M1 Finance just added. So it deserves its own video. So I'm going to do that for you guys. So stay tuned, subscribe. It's going to be really nice. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you. Love you all as always. Take care. Until next time. See you later.